Hello everyone, my name is Rajiv Soni. I'm founder and CEO of RG International. We are into abroad education and we are promoting countries like Canada, US, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and many other countries. But our forte is the European countries. So today I have a friend of mine, Mr. Prathik Jani. He's the owner of Jani Farsan. Prathik, can you please introduce yourself a bit?
Hi, myself Prathik Jani, owner and founder of Jani Farsan House. It's so good to see you, Rajiv, over here.
Me too, my friend.
Let's hit the conversation.
Definitely. So how's everything going? Life been like during the COVID situations, and how was your journey?
Wonderful. I
Wonderful.
loved the situation and I was spending time with myself and I had a wonderful time.
That's great. That's great. So we all been like last 2 years घर पे ही बैठे हैं, कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे, तो आज सोचा कि चलो डिस्कस करते हैं कि भाई कहाँ अभी तो शुरू हो रहा है वापस, वी आर बैक टू अवर नॉर्मल लाइफ गाइस. सो मैं डेफिनेटली जानना चाहूँगा, कुछ डिस्कस करना चाहूँगा प्रतीक के एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में, क्योंकि बहुत मैं उसको देखता हूँ. ही इज ट्रैवल हिस्ट्री इज नेक्स्ट लेवल, इज अमेजिंग. तो प्रतीक आज हम जानना चाहेंगे, और जो दोस्त यार जो जितने भी लोग हमारे हैं वो भी डेफिनेटली जानना चाहेंगे कि आपकी फेवरेट डेस्टिनेशन कौन सी है और कहाँ कहाँ आपने ट्रैवल किया है अभी तक.
So I've traveled Prague, Vienna, Amsterdam, Budapest, Barcelona.
Wow.
And I've traveled New York.
Wow.
I was in US for my studies also, so I have done my commercial pilot training in US. So I was studying there, so I've traveled in US also. I've traveled the West Coast and East Coast in US, and I've been to Dubai also. So
Great. So for how long you was there in USA?
I was there for around 2.5 years. I did my training over there.
Commercial pilot wow.
training. Right.
I'm sure like 2.5 years एक छोटा time, मतलब it's not a small, like it's not a short duration.
Of course.
So I am sure that you have explored a lot in US as well.
Yes, definitely. You know what? My training was such that I have to keep on exploring, and the sky was the limit. I just had to travel different places and fly
That's
cross countries.
great. That's
so
great.
I was lucky enough that I could study as well as travel all together.
Wow. So tell me one thing, Pratik. What do you like the most in terms of, let's see, like अगर holidays करना है, अगर जैसे मैं foodie हूँ, आपको लगता है होगा, like you can see me, like okay. तो क्या आपको सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद आया यूएस में, कि लाइक कौन सी जगह आपने जितने भी सिटीज़ आपने एक्सप्लोर किए, और अगर हम फूड की भी बात करें, ठीक है ना, बिकॉज आई हैव बीन टू यूएस एज वेल, बट अगर मुझे कोई पूछे तो मैं तो एक ही बोलूँगा कि यार मैं जब भी शिकागो जाता हूँ ना, तो एक पिज़्ज़ा वहाँ पे मिलता है, शिकागो पिज़्ज़ा उसको भी बोलते हैं, इतना लाइक मल्टी लेयर्स आता है, तो वो मैं कभी मिस नहीं करता. मैं मतलब वो मैं पूरा अकेला ले लेता हूँ. आप बताइए आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा है?
So one of my favorite dish in US was Southwest egg roll.
Wow.
I went to Chili's,
Yes.
and it was my birthday and my uncle took me over there and he offered me this dish and I loved
That's
it.
great.
Other than that, they had this avocado and spinach dip with nachos.
Yes.
I loved that also. It was really creamy and really wonderful.
यस मैं भी जब भी यूएस ट्रैवल करता हूँ ना यार, एक चीज़ मैं कभी मिस नहीं करता. जैसे एयरपोर्ट के बाहर निकला ना,
And what is that?
दैट इज आई फॉरगॉट द प्लेस, बट वो मैक्सिकन फ्रेंचाइजी है, उसका वो पूरा मतलब
Taco Bell?
हाँ,
Taco Bell?
not Taco Bell. The other one is a typical Mexican. उसके जो balls भी होते हैं वो राइस वाले.
Yeah, I forgot the name of
yes.
place.
बहुत वेल नोन है हर स्ट्रीट पे, वैसे जैसे यहाँ सबवे सब होता है ना.
Yeah. I forgot the name.
Yes.
They sell really good burritos also.
Yes, burritos. Yes.
7-layer burritos they sell.
Perfect.
And
That's
I love
the one.
that place.
Yes.
I don't remember
Chipotle. Right. Guys, जब भी आप यूएस जाओ ना, डेफिनेटली यू मस्ट ट्राई चिपोटले. उसका सैलड भी मतलब आता है, वो बरीटोज में भी आता है, बॉल राउस भी आप ले सकते हो, एंड बिलीव मी आप उसको बहुत मिस
Yeah,
करोगे.
you can customize also, and that's a lovely place to visit
yes.
if you really want to have authentic Mexican food.
मैं तो नेक्स्ट टाइम जाऊंगा भाई, चिपोटले तो अपना है ही है.
Of course, thank you so much.
Yes. Pratik, tell me one more thing. Like I have seen that you just said like you have been different countries in Europe as well.
Yes.
So, which is the most beautiful country you loved it and you liked it and you want to visit again?
Prague. Prague is a place where I would love to go again. Not just love, I would want to stay there forever because the essence of Prague, the ambience everywhere, like the infra, not the architecture of Prague.
Yes,
the
that
castles,
is something.
you know, it gives me that vintage feel. Where I've not experienced such vintage feel anywhere else. Specifically, if we consider European countries, of course there is Vienna, but Prague is somewhere I would want to live forever.
That's very true. मैं भी एक बार गया हूँ Prague. I was there in the year 2016 or 17. I was just there, like, me and my two other friends.
Right.
We did a road trip.
Okay.
We started from Paris. We went all the way. We like hired one of the best SUV from Paris, and we started our journey from Paris to Belgium, then Amsterdam, then Germany, then Budapest, then this Prague, and from there like all the way Slovakia, I guess.
Yeah, Slovakia.
Then Italy, then from Italy again वापस हम आ गए Paris.
So how long was
that? Was
trip
almost 20 days.
Wow.
Yes.
In 20 days you covered so many countries. I'm
we
so
were
surprised.
driving like anything. Yes.
Okay.
And I came to know, यार देखा मैंने वहाँ पे इस प्राग के अंदर कि उनका आर्किटेक्चर जो है no one can beat और
it's amazing. It's very beautiful.
जो फील आती है वो चार्ल्स ब्रिज पे
exactly the castle.
Yes, the castle
and the astronomical clock tower.
Yes, especially when you go other side of the bridge where there is the old town.
Yeah. Right.
When you see the old town, yes, beautiful feelings there.
I was crossing all these things through a cycle.
Really?
I got it on rental, and then I was traveling all around the city on a cycle. So it was a good tour and
great experience.
I feel like Prague is really much connected with nature also.
That's true.
When you see the sunset, it's so beautiful that I would never want to be somewhere else in my life than Prague. So it's one of the best place. And of course, after Prague, I would say Vienna. The Kronborn Palace.
Yes.
In Vienna is so beautiful.
I know there is Vienna, and I think एक दो जगह वहाँ पे है जो काफ़ी लोग विंटर में भी that is also known for the winter destination. वो आइस के लिए भी लोग जाते हैं वहाँ पे, I guess.
I went in summer, so I really have no idea about it. But there is this place called Fisher Market. It's if someone is into seafood and really want to explore food, that's the best market one can hit.
Really?
And again, the vibes of Europe, you cannot compare it with anything else, because I was traveling, I was taking a city tour in that bus called
Hop on Hop Off.
Yes, Hop on Hop Off.
Yeah.
And we just went to the last destination, and when we went down, like we were hitting this central place of Vienna. I do not remember the name, but there was a party going on the street.
Wow.
And they were playing music, they were offering beers and everything, and it was all free. So
Europe का nightlife यार like next level.
You cannot
compare
the nightlife with anything else.
Especially like in these countries, Central European countries like Czech Republic, like Prague, like Budapest, and also there are a couple of more cities but I experienced, Budapest for me. I was in the Prague as well.
Right.
Budapest also was one of the best experience for me. And guys, I just want to, tell you one thing that बहुत लोगों को ये नहीं पता है कि बुडापेस्ट वो सिर्फ एक नाम देखता है कि ये बुडापेस्ट है, बट पूरे जैसे अपने सूरत के अंदर तापी रिवर है और दो हिस्सों में सिटी है, वैसे बुडापेस्ट के अंदर वो जो रिवर है और दोनों साइड पे जो है, एक साइड पे बुडा है एंड द अदर साइड इज द पेस्ट, सो द बोथ प्लेस आर डिफरेंट. तो आप जब भी जाइए दोनों साइड से एक्सप्लोर करना ना भूलिएगा, ठीक है. हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस इन बुडापेस्ट बाय द वे?
Oh, lovely. The night hopping of parties, and there are so many good hostels where you can visit, and in Budapest we have not seen a daylight, because we used to sleep around 5 a.m. and we used to get up around afternoon time and then explore a little bit and then go again party hopping. Especially when it comes to Budapest, there is this church called, if I'm not wrong, Saint Mary's Church,
Yes.
which is very beautiful.
Huge in the
one
down in the
must-
city center.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And one must visit that place because it's very serene and you get a very good spiritual vibe over there.
That's true.
So that's one thing which I liked about Budapest, and of course you cannot miss thermal spa bath.
Yes.
Thermal
That
bath
is-
parties
yes.
are amazing, and thermal bath is something which you should not miss in Budapest at all.
That is, Budapest ये चीज़ों के लिए भी बहुत अच्छे से जाना जाता है यार. And definitely like you, and it is not like that, if you're traveling with your family, definitely you
Right.
can visit along with your family and kids as well. कि वो-
Of course.
Yes,
Budapest
thermal baths
is
is like next level beauty.
very, as I said, all the countries are very much connected with nature, but Budapest is again having a very lively people hanging around to such places. Like I said, thermal bath. Okay, so they had such a beautiful thing. They have different kind of temperature in all settings in all
Yes.
the pool that they had.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
one was having I would say around 40 degrees of
40
temperature.
degrees. It's kind of like they give the therapies
the
as well.
other pool was
Yeah.
around 16 to 20 degrees,
Yes.
and you feel so warm over there. So it's the best thing to do.
You have to spend whole day there to get the best experience.
And Europe is all about the cheapest beers in the market.
Yes,
so
yes. One more thing I would like to
shouldn't miss
mention here
Europe.
about the currency in Hungary, the Budapest. Okay, that's a Hungarian forint. I'm sure it's a Hungarian forint, right?
Front.
Franc, yes.
Yeah.
और अपनी Indian rupees is very much stronger than that Hungarian currency. इंडिया का 1 रुपया वहाँ के 3.5-4 रुपए होते हैं. तो डेफिनेटली आप अच्छे से बजट में, जहाँ आप सिंगापुर, मलेशिया या फिर कोई फार ईस्ट या फिर दुबई, अगर जिस बजट में जाके आएंगे, डेफिनेटली वही बजट में अगर आप अच्छे से प्लान करेंगे तो आप बुडापेस्ट यूरोप जाके भी आ सकते
Of
हो.
course, yes. My experience was something like that only. Budapest, even Prague is also cheap.
Yes.
I would say I was staying in one of the best hostel in Budapest, especially if you are below 25 or 30, and if you want to travel
True,
Budapest, then you should always keep on switching hostels, and because you will get the best experience in
Yes.
hostels, right?
That is-
and they are very cheap. I would say I spent around 800 rupees or 1,000 a night, which is
You won't get in Surat, my friend.
cheaper
Surat
than
mein bhi
Surat.
utne mein nahi milta.
So of
Yes.
course Budapest is very cheap that way. Even I would say not just that, drinks are also very cheap.
Yes.
Water is more expensive than beers.
Even
in
the
Europe.
transportation, food, everything is like not at all that expensive in
Exactly.
in
If you know
Budapest.
the right place
Right
and
place.
how to travel, then Europe is really cheap. We were traveling from Prague to
Prague?
Vienna.
By road, I mean.
No, not by road. We went by
Yeah,
train.
By train.
And
yes.
it was around what, 20 euros.
Great.
So the journey was very peaceful, and lovely trains they have. So
It's like more or less like I was driving all the way from Prague to Budapest, and for me it was around like 5.5 hours drive.
yeah,
Yes, more or
possibly.
less. Yeah, 5
Yeah.
hours drive, and it was a great experience. And
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
One more thing I would like to add here. अगर आप बुडापेस्ट जाते हो तो बुडापेस्ट में एक कैफ़े है, and the name of the cafe is the Cafe New York. Cafe New York is it's the most beautiful cafe in the world.
Wow.
Yes,
I've missed out on this one.
yes,
so,
is the most
guys,
beautiful cafe in the world. So guys,
of course,
do
I'm
not
sure.
miss to visit Cafe New York in Budapest. So I'm sure that like people would love it when they'll see this, like your experience and all.
Of course, but I really want to know.
Yeah.
Wow, where would you want to visit if you have to travel solo in Europe?
Solo, Pratik, I have been many places, believe me.
Okay.
Right, but definitely for me, if I'm traveling solo, I have also explored completely Central Europe. Let's
Okay.
see, from Poland,
Okay.
all the cities. Poland is also like one of the Schengen country, where definitely you can afford like all the accommodation, transportations, मतलब यार आप बहुत अच्छे बजट में एक अच्छी ट्रिप, और बहुत कल्चरल है
I've
वहाँ
heard
पे.
Poland is really cheap, and
Yes.
can you throw some light on
Let's see the
where should you
capitals.
travel in
Yes,
Poland?
let's see you're traveling to Poland. You must visit Warsaw.
Okay.
Warsaw is the capital city,
Right.
and this is all like by road. You can travel, like you can travel to Krakow. Krakow
Okay.
used to be the oldest capital for the
Wow.
Poland.
Okay.
Then you can also travel to Lublin. You can travel to, let's say, Katowice. You can travel to Szczecin. You can travel to Gdansk. Gdansk, my dear friend. Oh my God, I love that place.
Okay.
Gdansk is like a completely on the north side, and it is like on the seaside.
Okay.
You can take a ferry and you can travel to Copenhagen from there.
Oh,
So when you're
again,
traveling, yes, in
Copenhagen.
summer,
That's-
you must visit Gdansk. It's
Okay.
very beautiful, and people are very welcoming. Believe me.
So how far it is from Copenhagen?
Copenhagen is like, if you go by ferry, you can. It's like a couple of hours ferry. Like by
Okay,
by,
okay.
by by ship. But definitely, if you're taking a flight, not more than 45 minutes by flight. You just cross the channel, cross like the seas, and like in the other side,
Okay.
you are in the Copenhagen. So
Wow, wonderful. Because I've heard that a lot of good yacht parties you get to attend in Copenhagen.
that's true. And so Poland, you can visit definitely these cities. And let's see, if you're traveling along with the family.
Okay.
I would love to go Portugal.
Wow.
Yes, but in Portugal as well, there is a district called Faro district.
Okay.
And in the Faro district, there's a place called Albufeira.
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 Wow.
So let's see, if you are in somewhere in Europe, you need to take the flight to Faro.
Okay.
Not to the capital city of
Okay.
Portugal,
Okay.
but definitely you can. There is an international airport, Faro, and from Faro, it is more or less is around like 25-30 minutes drive,
Okay.
or by taxi you can reach to Albufeira.
Okay.
And believe me, Albufeira is very well known for the caves, the actual caves.
Wow. That was
Yes.
my next question.
Yes,
That,
it's
what
beautiful.
is so special about it?
And yeah, so it's a caves, and definitely if you love to see like live dolphins, right?
Okay.
That's a great experience. Let's
Okay.
see, like we have always seen dolphins somewhere in the dolphin shows in Dubai or in Singapore or in these forest
Right.
countries. But there, they will take you really in the middle of the sea,
Okay.
and you'll be able to see the live dolphins around you.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's-
so that is something, the great experience you
I
can
am
have.
sure it is out of
Yes. And
our
also-
imagination how beautiful it would have been.
Believe me, the most important is the weather.
Okay.
Of course, if you go in summer, it will be as good, like as India, in terms of summer and heat. So you have to be little bit like, prepare yourself.
Right.
But definitely in the evening, the atmosphere is amazing. It's an
So I'm
excellent.
sure sunset and sea, and you're in a
Yes.
yacht or
Most
boat.
of the resorts, they have their own private beach.
Okay.
So of course, there's a good nightlife as well. So
Okay.
if you want to explore a nightlife, it's amazing.
Oh, nightlife is by default in Europe.
That's true.
Consider anywhere, I think so.
Yes, but definitely there are so many, places around that region which you can visit along with the family, and
Wow.
you will love it.
I want to ask you one more thing.
Tell me.
Where in Europe you would say that because we have traveled a lot,
True.
right? And there somewhere down the line, there is a scarcity of vegetarian food somewhere, and when you go to Europe, you do not find much of the options when if you want to explore vegetarian food. What do you
Yes.
think where you should go and explore
See,
food? And Europe is all about vegan food also.
True. So there are, if you're traveling, let's see, like a Scandinavian side,
Okay.
more or less like a Finland or Estonia, and like Norway, and so there are many vegan restaurants are available.
Okay.
But especially down the line, if you see the southern part of the Europe, there are like, of course, I had many challenges, but what I normally do is like, you see, I always find a Mexican restaurant where the Mexican, more or less, they use more vegetables and cheese and kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I just only have to explain to the waiter that do not add any meat, any
Right.
ghost, no fish, no chicken, nothing.
Okay.
So whatever they're preparing is good for me.
Right. Best.
That is the best option.
Exactly.
Second is the Subway, and also like somewhere down the line, I do find some Indian restaurants, but definitely, I'll tell you one thing. I went to a city called Vigo.
Okay.
That is completely eastern side of the Spain. And
Never heard about it. But
yes, and believe me, it's like a small town,
Okay.
small city. I wouldn't say that it's a town. And I went there to actually watch a football match there. Yes, in the
Wow.
stadium. Yeah, and there I was really literally struggling for the food because there was no Mexican restaurants, and only even I ordered a salad and it came along with the like a small pieces of a fish and
Okay.
yeah, shrimps. So then after 4 days I was literally, like now I need Indian food.
Right.
We hired a taxi, me and my friend. We went all the way to Portugal.
Okay.
All right, the border was like 30-40 kilometers only
Okay.
from the city, but other side in the Portugal we traveled like another 100 kilometers. So
Wow.
almost like 150 kilometers one way
Just to have
have an Indian meal. Okay, so we went like 150 kilometers, had our food, we packed like few things together, and we came back. So that was something like it was a challenging
It
part.
was a challenge.
But other than
right?
that,
So,
Italian restaurants where you find like vegetarian pizzas, where you just have to explain like just do not add the meat or any like yes, non-vegetarian
things, of
ingredients.
course.
So that's how you can easily survive.
I would share one thing with you when it comes to food that I could somewhere down the line survive with freeze-dried food, if you've heard about it. So, we used to travel hostels only.
True.
And most of the hostels, they had all this equipment where you can cook. They have this separate area for kitchen, and
True.
you can cook, you can share your food with people, and people would love it if you allow them to have the food that you can cook over there. Because hostel vibe is totally different, I
That's
feel.
completely
And
different.
I made all the Indian dishes over there because
Really?
we didn't had any options to go anywhere.
Wow.
And it was so far that somewhere few places are such that you cannot you even go through public transport. And of course,
True.
when it comes to traveling and private transport, it's quite expensive. So we chose another option. Which is
that
cook
is,
by
I guess,
yourself
the best
and
option.
have
Yes.
food in Europe. So,
But
yeah.
if we talk about a little bit about the transportations, that Europe is always better options than US,
Exactly.
Canada, because
Absolutely.
yes,
When it comes to that, public transportation is very well organized, I would say, in Europe, and it's very easy to understand. Even if there are different languages that you can see over the
Yeah,
placards and over the
True.
stations, but it's still easy to understand. And the best part about Europe is people are very hospitable.
yes,
They
definitely.
always smile and give you good responses. So yeah, you should never be afraid if you are traveling Europe.
You need to just ask people that okay where you are stuck, and they will be very happy to guide you and to help you along. But definitely, guys. So Pratik, that was really outstanding, and really, I really thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your
Absolutely.
experience.
I'm very thankful that you have shared few of the places which I have never been to, and I'm sure I'm going to connect with you.
Definitely,
and ask
sure,
you
sure,
different
sure.
places where I can go.
Anytime, my dear friend, and definitely, and I really appreciate your time and your support, and looking forward, for maybe next time you and me travel together somewhere.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pratik.
I had a wonderful time talking
Me too,
to you.
man. हाय प्रतीक, आपके लिए एक फन क्विज भी है
Okay.
यहाँ पे, जिसमें मैं आपको कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा
All right.
एंड डेफिनेटली आपके लिए उसकी विनिंग प्राइज भी है कि अगर आपने जितने गलत आंसर्स दिए,
Okay.
you have that cup of drink which is with a coffee and Szechuan sauce.
No, I was not expecting this, but
I'm sure you will love it. Don't worry. Take
you're
a
putting
push.
me into trouble today, but it's okay. Let's see.
Let's see. I'm sure आप कर लोगे.
Okay.
But
All right.
definitely. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question. What is the capital of Pakistan?
Islamabad.
Okay. Wow. ये पेज के पीछे दिख नहीं रहा ना? Okay. All right. Next question.
Okay.
Which is the smallest city in the world by size?
Smallest city
in the world.
It could be an island also.
It could be, yeah, you can say, but it's a city actually.
Smallest city in the
Smallest
world.
city, yes.
Can anybody give me the hints?
Okay, I think I can help you in that after this. All right.
This is really bad.
But if it won't, yes.
Okay, if I want to try city, God damn it, I have to have this.
All right. It's a Vatican City. Let me ask you one question: what is the language of China called?
Chinese.
Right, it's a wrong answer, by the way.
So what is the answer?
Is the Mandarin.
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 So, any idea? You had an idea about this answer?
Honestly speaking.
Be honest.
A
Be honest about it.
little bit of it, yes.
A little bit of it, or yes or no?
After reading this, I knew that.
Then we need to share the shot, please.
Just
You
have
won't
a
be able
half.
to answer
Okay,
the
then
other.
have a little bit of it. Okay.
Okay.
I know you had one full, so okay. Just have a little bit. That's fine. Okay. Leave it. Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Now. Okay, we'll play. That clip. Okay.
This is absolutely.
You need to
tasting
identify the language. Identify the country from the language. You need to identify
Okay.
the country from the language. We're
language.
going to play the clip, okay, and you have to listen it carefully and just identify the language and the country.
Nagkakapagtagalog ako ng kaunti. Ano ang magandang restaurant na malapit dito?
Okay. This is French.
Okay.
You take the shot. If I'm wrong.
All right. Is Philippines.
Mind blowing. This was really tough. I mean, it was least expected from you guys to shoot such kind of questions. You know, बताना चाहिए ना, पढ़ के आता मैं थोड़ा बहुत, जीके लेके आता ना. Oh, this is you are having, right?
I will.
Okay.
After this.
So again,
Have
I'm going
a
to
bit
have
of
the
it. Yes. Yeah. Have
and
just
you'll have the rest of
end
it.
of the yes. I'll sure. I'll have it. Don't worry.
Okay.
You just have a little bit of it, and that's fine. No problem. I'm good. This is the last question, finally.
Okay.
And we have a last, cup of drink left here.
I hope.
And definitely, I know you'll do it. Okay, we're going to show you the image, and you have to identify the country from that image.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
Brazil.
Wow. Bingo. All right. Perfect. It's the right answer. So see, there's only one got left,
This one is left.
and we will
And
make
okay,
sure that
you know what? If I answer right, the punishment should be to the team, right?
Of
It
course.
should go to team that they have to drink the shot.
We'll make
If
sure
I,
that after
answer
this
the
shoot,
question
okay,
right.
these drinks will go to the person who prepared
Yeah,
us.
who made this question? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. She's going to have this.
She's good to have it.